Once you realize who you really are, there's no going back. This isn't just another self-help mantra. This is the gateway to total transformation. By the end of this, you'll be armed with the secrets of light, color, and vibration that will forever change the way you see yourself and the world around you. Get ready, because you're about to unlock the most powerful force that's been hiding right inside you. It's time to wake up and harness the energy that will reshape your reality. Have you ever felt like there's more to life than this? That you're more than just flesh, bones, and endless routines? You're not alone. Millions of people around the globe are waking up to the feeling that something's been kept from them. Something big. Since the day you were born, you've been told a story. A story that you're just a physical being, that you're separate from the energy around you, that you're powerless to change the circumstances of your life. But what if I told you this is all part of an elaborate illusion? One designed to keep you from realizing the truth about who you are. Let me let you in on a secret. The word human isn't just a label. It's a trap. A trap that has its roots deep in the ancient language of control. You've been conditioned to see yourself as something less than you are. But that ends now. You are not merely human. You are human. A being of pure light, energy, and vibration, intertwined with forces far beyond your physical form. Your essence vibrates on frequencies you've barely begun to understand. And you're not separate from the universe around you. You are the universe. Ancient civilizations knew this. The Egyptians worshipped the power of light, symbolized by the sun god Ra. And modern quantum physics? It's starting to catch up, revealing the deep interconnectedness of all things. This means you're not just a cog in the machine. You are a creator, a force of light with the power to shape reality. Every thought you have, every emotion you feel, sends out waves of energy that ripple through the universe. Now, are you starting to see the lie? The world has been hiding your power for too long. But not anymore. The real question is, what will you do with this newfound truth? Words aren't just sounds or symbols. They're power. They shape how we see the world, how we see ourselves, and more importantly, how we limit ourselves. Think about the word human. It's a term rooted in Latin, tethering us to the physical, suggesting we're nothing more than flesh, bone, and earth. But what if I told you that this very word has been holding you back? That it's part of a system designed to bury the truth of who you really are? There's a truth hidden beneath layers of societal conditioning. A truth so profound it could transform everything. You're not just human. You're human. A being of light, color, and pure vibration, intricately connected to the unseen forces that govern this universe. You're not limited by matter. You are energy. You vibrate with frequencies that ripple through everything, reflecting your true essence. The spectrum of life flows through you, invisible but undeniable, constantly influencing the world around you. And here's the thing. Human isn't just a clever metaphor. It's a reality. It's the acknowledgement that your identity transcends the physical. You are a being of light, connected to the universe in ways both ancient wisdom and modern science have affirmed. From the smallest atom to the largest galaxy, everything vibrates with energy. And you're no exception. Your thoughts, your emotions, everything is energy. And it's all interacting with the world at a level we're just starting to understand. Think about it. If you are made of light and energy, How does that change the way you move through the world? What could you do if you truly harnessed this knowledge? Imagine the possibilities. Ancient cultures got it. The Egyptians, they revered Ra, the sun god, as a symbol of creation and light, an acknowledgement of humanity's deep connection to the source of energy itself. This understanding has been buried, lost in the noise of the modern world. But science is catching up. Quantum physics is revealing that nothing is truly separate. You are not just a body in a disconnected universe. You are woven into the very fabric of existence. Understanding yourself as a human is more than just a mindset shift. It's a revolution. It means stepping into the truth of your multi-dimensional existence. You are not confined by your physical form. You are a dynamic energy system capable of extraordinary things. Once you embrace this perspective, everything changes. You'll realize that you are connected to a vast collective consciousness, a field of limitless potential that links you to everything and everyone. This is your moment to tap into that higher power, to awaken your true potential, and start creating the life you were always capable of. The only question left is, how long will you keep yourself small? Every second you delay, you stay confined to a lesser version of yourself. It's time to break free. But this connection to something greater isn't just a nice idea. It's backed by science. What if your thoughts had the power to influence the world around you instantly, changing your reality? Groundbreaking research is revealing the shocking truth about human consciousness and its ability to shape physical matter. Are you ready to see yourself in a completely new way? The link between light, energy, and consciousness isn't just a metaphor. It's real, and it's changing everything we know about what it means to exist. Quantum physics is uncovering the true nature of our being, and it's far more incredible than we ever imagined. As a human, you're capable of far more than you've been led to believe. The question is, are you ready to step into that power? For years, people have been trained to think of consciousness as a side effect of the brain, as if awareness were some accidental spark produced by matter. But that idea is beginning to crack. More and more, the deeper we look, the less solid the old model becomes. The universe does not behave like a dead machine. At its most fundamental level, it behaves like energy, pattern, probability, and vibration. That changes everything. Because if reality itself is energetic at the core, then your consciousness is not some powerless observer trapped inside a biological cage. It is a participant. It is part of the field. And once you understand that, you stop living like a victim of circumstances and start seeing how deeply your inner world is tied to the outer one. This is where most people miss the point. They hear words like energy, frequency, consciousness, and they reduce them to decoration. They treat them like spiritual poetry. But this goes deeper than that. Your body is electrical. Your brain runs on electrical impulses. Your heart generates a measurable field. Your nervous system is constantly receiving, processing, and transmitting signals. You are not disconnected from reality. You are immersed in it, interfacing with it every second. The thoughts you repeat, the emotions you feed, the identity you cling to. These are not neutral. They become the pattern through which you interpret life, respond to life, and eventually create the kind of life you keep experiencing. Think about what that means. If you wake up every day in fear, resentment, doubt, and internal conflict, You are not just feeling bad. You are training your entire system to resonate with chaos. You are teaching your mind what to notice, teaching your body what to normalize, teaching your reality what kind of signal you keep broadcasting. But if you begin to shift your internal state deliberately, consistently, ruthlessly, you begin changing the pattern. You begin changing what you perceive, what you attract, what you tolerate, and what you become. This is why your emotional state matters far more than people think. Emotions are not random interruptions. They are energetic instructions. They are signals. Fear contracts you. Shame weakens you. Resentment poisons your focus. But gratitude expands you. Clarity sharpens you. Love stabilizes you. Courage organizes your energy. Peace gives you access to intelligence that panic can never reach. Every emotional state carries a different quality, a different rhythm, a different effect on the body and mind. So the question is not just, what do you think? The deeper question is, what state are you living in most of the time? Because whatever state you return to again and again becomes your baseline. And your baseline becomes your identity. Then your identity begins filtering reality without you even noticing. That is why two people can walk through the same world and live in completely different realities. One sees threat everywhere. One sees opportunity everywhere. One sees rejection, loss, and hostility. The other sees meaning, challenge, and growth. The world did not change. The lens changed. The frequency changed. The internal signal changed. And this is where your real power begins. Not in pretending life is easy. Not in faking positivity. Not in repeating empty affirmations while your nervous system is drowning in stress. But in becoming conscious of the energy you are feeding. Real transformation starts when you stop lying to yourself about what you are carrying. Most people want light without confrontation. They want elevation without purification. They want power without discipline. It does not work like that. If you want to rise, you have to become aware of what is keeping you dense. That means looking directly at what has been poisoning your field. Your habits, your environment, your internal language. Your addictions to stress, distraction, comparison, and self-betrayal. Every time you consume chaos, you feed chaos. Every time you rehearse weakness, you strengthen weakness. Every time you betray your own intuition, you teach yourself that your inner signal cannot be trusted. And when that happens long enough, you stop feeling powerful because you have trained yourself to live out of alignment. So, let's strip away the fantasy and make this practical. If you want to change your vibration, start with what you repeatedly expose yourself to. Look at the information you consume, the people around you, the music, the media, the conversations, the emotional atmosphere of your daily life. All of it is programming your state. All of it is feeding a frequency. Nothing is neutral. Either it sharpens your energy or it drains it. Either it reminds you of who you are, or it pulls you deeper into noise. Then, look at your body. Because your body is not separate from this process. Your state of consciousness is deeply tied to how you breathe, how you sleep, how you move, how much tension you are carrying, and how overstimulated your system has become. A dysregulated body will keep producing distorted perception. A chronically exhausted nervous system will drag consciousness downward, no matter how many beautiful ideas you listen to. This is why grounding matters. This is why stillness matters. This is why breath matters. The body must become an ally instead of a battlefield. Start with something simple. When you feel your energy dropping, stop. Breathe slowly and deeply, not once. Not as a gimmick, long enough to actually interrupt the pattern. Let your body know it is safe enough to stop spiraling. Let your mind stop reacting for a moment. Then bring your attention back to what is true, not to what your stress is screaming. That alone begins shifting your field. Because awareness breaks automaticity. Awareness interrupts old programming. Awareness gives you leverage. And once you have awareness, you can begin choosing deliberately. You can choose what kind of energy you want to cultivate. You can choose gratitude instead of complaint, presence instead of endless mental noise, discipline instead of impulse. You can choose to stop rehearsing old emotional loops that keep your identity trapped in the past. This is how frequency changes in real life, not through fantasy, through repetition, through state control, through daily internal correction. But there is another layer to this, and it is one most people spend their entire lives avoiding. You cannot become whole without confronting your shadow. You cannot live as light while refusing to face the darkness you carry. This is where a lot of spiritual language becomes weak and dishonest. People talk about high vibration while suppressing rage, pain, grief, envy, fear, and humiliation. They try to float above wounds they have never actually faced. That is not awakening. That is avoidance in prettier clothing. Your shadow is not proof that you are broken. It is proof that you are carrying unresolved material. Old pain. Old survival strategy. Old emotional debris. Pieces of yourself that were pushed down because they felt dangerous, painful, or unacceptable. But what you bury does not disappear. It begins operating from underneath. It shapes your reactions, your relationships, your self-image, your addictions, your emotional volatility. It leaks into your life until you are finally forced to see it. So stop running from it. Pay attention to what triggers you. Pay attention to the emotions that feel too heavy, too ugly, too embarrassing to admit. That is where your work is. That is where trapped energy lives. And until that energy is acknowledged, felt, and integrated, it will keep distorting your signal. This is why shadow work matters. Not because it sounds deep, but because it returns stolen energy back to your consciousness. Every part of yourself you reclaim becomes fuel. Every wound you stop hiding becomes wisdom. Every lie you stop telling yourself becomes power. The goal is not to become perfectly light all the time. That is childish. The goal is to become integrated, real, coherent, strong enough to hold both your depth and your darkness without collapsing into either one. Because the most powerful people are not the ones who pretend they have no shadow. They are the ones who have faced it and no longer fear it. They have stopped wasting energy on internal denial. And that freed energy becomes presence, magnetism, clarity, and force. Now take this one step further. If your inner state shapes your reality, then your consciousness does not end at your skin. It participates in something larger. Every thought, every intention, every emotion contributes to the atmosphere around you. You have felt this before, even if you never had language for it. You have walked into rooms that felt heavy before anyone spoke. You have stood near people whose peace calmed you without explanation. You have felt how one person's fear can infect a group and how one person's confidence can stabilize it. That is not imagination. That is the reality of shared energetic influence. You are affecting the field around you all the time, through your presence, through your nervous system, through your emotional charge, through your unspoken assumptions. This means your growth is never only personal. When you become more coherent, more grounded, more conscious, you do not just change your own experience. You change the environment you move through. You become less reactive, less contagious with chaos, less available for manipulation. And that matters, because a world full of fragmented people is easy to control. A world full of conscious people is not. That is why reclaiming your energy is bigger than self-improvement. It is liberation. It is remembering that your attention is sacred. Your emotional state is sacred. Your inner life is not some private side issue. It is the command center from which your entire reality is interpreted and influenced. And the moment you truly understand that, you stop scattering your energy on things that weaken you. You become more intentional, more disciplined, more selective, more powerful. So where do you begin from here? Begin by becoming brutally honest about your current frequency. What are you feeding daily? What emotions dominate your inner world? What identity are you rehearsing without noticing? Are you living like someone connected to power, or like someone waiting to be saved? Are you reinforcing clarity or reinforcing confusion? Are you building coherence or building inner noise? Then begin correcting it. Protect your attention. Regulate your body. Clean up your environment. Practice gratitude until it becomes natural. Practice stillness until your mind stops owning you. Practice discipline until your actions start matching your deeper knowing. Face your shadow until it no longer controls you from the dark. And above all, stop speaking about yourself as if you are small, trapped, and powerless. That language is a prison. That identity is a prison. Break it. Because once you realize who you really are, there really is no going back. You cannot unknow that your inner world matters. You cannot unknow that your energy is shaping your experience. You cannot unknow that the version of you buried under conditioning, fear, distraction, and false identity is far greater than what the world trained you to believe. The old self begins to feel unbearable once truth enters. The old limitations begin to crack. The old excuses begin to sound weak. This is your invitation to stop living as a diminished version of yourself. To stop surrendering your power to habit, fear, noise, and inherited programming. To stop acting like consciousness is a passive thing when it may be the most influential force in your life. You are not here just to survive the world. You are here to become conscious within it, to refine your signal, to sharpen your awareness, to align your mind, body, and energy so fully that reality begins responding differently, because you are no longer showing up as the same fragmented person. And once that happens, everything changes. Not all at once, not like magic, but deeply, permanently, quietly at first, then unmistakably. Your perception changes. Your decisions change. Your standards change. Your relationships change. What you attract changes. What you tolerate changes. What you radiate changes. And eventually your entire life begins reflecting the truth you finally stopped running from. So remember this: you are not just matter. You are not just routine. You are not just a name, a history, a job, a set of problems, or a body moving toward death. You are consciousness in motion. You are energy with awareness. You are a living field of thought, emotion, intention, memory, and force. And whether the world admits it or not, that makes you far more powerful than you were taught to believe. The only thing left is your decision. Will you keep living at the level of the story you were handed? Or will you finally rise to the level of what you are? Because the moment you do, your reality will have no choice but to begin changing with you.